Good morning. So I'll tell you today about Samuel Hurd. He was visiting Ireland on a zone visit, and I'm not sure exactly when it was, but it was before 2009. And I was called up to the branch office, which is about a 3.5 hour journey to get there, to see could we sort out this problem with the local elders. So I went up there and I met Samuel Hurd, and he was very nice, So he sat me down, and instead of saying to me, well, let's look at the facts of this situation and let's see what went wrong and see what we can do to put it right. And he didn't tell me about the secret rules because I didn't know about them at that time. He did, of course. And if he had said to me, look, we have secret rules which the elders were following, and I need to know what went wrong so as to see, are the secret rules okay or not? No, none of that. Instead of which, he just read me 1 Corinthians 6 about not taking your brother to court. When what had happened was a crime. It wasn't something that the local congregation could deal with. So he ignored Romans 13 about the governments dealing with crimes. And he also ignored the fact that 1 Corinthians 6 talks about very small matters which the local congregation can deal with. So my opinion of this governing body member was not very high. And in fact, I got so angry that I walked out. So what happened? Well, a few days later, he gave a talk in Dublin. I didn't attend it, but a few people did, well, from my area. And he went on, he talked about things like, oh, don't watch the news all day, this sort of thing. I didn't think it was very spiritual talk, but that's just my opinion. But then he got to talking about the arrangement of the congregation. And he said, there are no queen bees in Jehovah's organization. It was the most derogatory remark I have ever heard from a governing body, but out of their heart, their mouth speaks. So there was nothing I could do about it. So, as you know, I eventually took the Watchtower Society to court. I discovered their secret rules and exactly what they were doing, and eventually I obtained a court order to state that Watchtower's secret rules are not fair and that they must use fair procedures. Note that God used a woman to get this court order, and he's using a woman to try to enforce the fact that they must use fair procedures. I'm not a feminist. I've no objection whatsoever to men taking the lead in the congregation, none whatsoever. But there's a limit. They need to be faithful to Jesus' commands. And they weren't. So what happened with this court case? Did they go by Jesus' commands when he said in Matthew 5, be quick to settle matters before you go to court? Oh no, they didn't do that. In their own wisdom, they decided to fight this case. And the reason being that there were so many people in the organization who had been abused either by paedophiles that they had not removed or by elders using unfair procedures, that they knew that if they allowed one case to be settled, they'd have to settle thousands, and they didn't want to lose the money. So in their own wisdom, they went to court, and they made me so ill that I couldn't deal with their fraud in the courts. I had to settle for the court order, which was fine. I got what I needed. So they got away with fraud, but at what cost? The cost is that they disobeyed Jesus' commands, and they can't possibly have any favour with God until they put that right. So I am preaching against Watchtower Society, very much so. So, as to your questions, I've been a witness for all my life. I left in 2010 when I was 60. I had no choice, but I still believe that Jehovah God is with us and that there is a God and that he will sort this problem out. I've been taught a lesson in that time doesn't mean very much to Jehovah God, and that if we're patient, we will see the reward in the end. There is a better world coming. It can't go on as it is. The climate change is disastrous. We've got viruses attacking us. We've got earthquakes, and no, the situation in the world needs Jesus Christ to perform a few more miracles and to put things right for us. We need a little bit of upbuilding. So in the next video, I might talk about things that God has done, and I don't know if everybody will be interested in that, but a quick look at nature. So we'll try that next time. But thank you for watching.